Men over 60, top doctor warns to avoid these 5 shocking strength mistakes. For lasting independence, alright. Let's have a frank conversation. Have you ever found yourself struggling with a stubborn jar lid? Just needing to ask for a little help? Or maybe you feel that slight hesitation, that little extra push you need, just to get out of your favorite armchair. It's a frustrating feeling, and I want you to know, you are not imagining it. Now, most people, they just chalk this up to getting older. They let out a sigh, and they accept that feeling weaker is just an unavoidable part of life. But it's not. What if I told you that the real enemy isn't the number of candles on your birthday cake, but something that you can absolutely 100% control? And this isn't just my opinion. This is proven science. Research from the respected American Journal of Geriatrics shows that after the age of 50, we can lose as much as 1 to 2% of our muscle mass every single year if we do nothing. Now, that number is alarming, I know. But inside that warning, there is also a tremendous opportunity. Let me tell you about one of my patients, a man named John. He was a 72-year-old retired engineer, a wonderful man. He sat in my office and told me, his voice quiet, "Dr. Wells, I can't even lift my 4-year-old granddaughter anymore. Just 6 months after applying the simple steps I'm about to share with you," he called me, and his voice was just buzzing with excitement. He said, "I spent the entire afternoon playing with her at the park. I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, and for over 30 years, I've helped my patients do exactly what John did. Today, in the next few minutes, I am going to share with you the 5 simple science-backed steps that can help you reclaim your strength. And I encourage you to stay with me because the 4th step we'll cover is the one that almost everyone gets wrong. Alright, so let's get right into our plan. The very first, and arguably the most important step, is what I call the protein priority. Now, before we go any further, I need to point out a critical mistake. It's a mistake I see countless patients make day in and day out. They hear that they need to eat healthier, so they start their morning with something like toast and tea, or maybe a simple bowl of cereal. It seems light, it seems healthy. But what you are actually doing is starving your muscles right from the very start of the day. You are setting yourself up to fail before your feet even hit the floor. This single mistake can completely undermine all your other efforts to stay strong. So why is protein so vital? Why do I call it the #1 priority? The reason is simple biology. Your muscles, every single one of them, are made of protein. It's their fundamental building block. But here's the crucial part that most people don't realize. As we get older, our bodies become less efficient at using the protein we eat to repair and build muscle tissue. It's a process called anabolic resistance. This means that to get the same muscle-maintaining benefit you had in your 30s or 40s, you actually need more protein now, not less. Cutting back is the exact opposite of what your body is crying out for. And again, this isn't just a theory. This is backed by solid, peer-reviewed science. A landmark study published in the Journal of Nutrition was incredibly clear on this. Researchers tracked older adults and their dietary habits. They found that the individuals who spread their protein intake evenly throughout the day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner had significantly more muscle strength and better physical function than those who ate the majority of their protein in one large evening meal. The evidence showed that a consistent supply is key. Here's a simple way to think about it. Imagine your muscles are a brick wall. Every day, due to age and activity, a few bricks get loose or crumble. Protein is the new bricks and the mortar you use to repair that wall. If you only send a shipment of bricks at the end of the day, the wall spends the entire day getting weaker. But if you supply a steady stream of bricks all day long, you can repair the damage as it happens, keeping that wall strong and stable. So, how do you put this into practice safely and effectively? It's easier than you think. I'm not asking you to eat giant steaks for every meal. The goal is to aim for about 25 to 30 grams of protein at each meal. For breakfast, this could be as simple as 2 or 3 eggs with a side of Greek yogurt. For lunch, a chicken breast the size of your palm or a hearty lentil soup. The key here isn't perfection. It is consistency. I remember one of my patients, a wonderful woman named Susan, who was struggling with energy. She loved gardening but found she was too tired to do it. We made one change to start, just one. We added a high-quality protein powder to her morning smoothie. 2 weeks later, she told me she had spent the entire weekend out in her garden. She said, "I feel like myself again." That one simple change gave her body the fuel it had been missing. So, if you're ready to start properly fueling your muscles and rebuilding that wall, let me know. Head down to the comments right now and simply type the word protein. Alright, that brings us to our second key step. Once you've started giving your body the right fuel, the right building blocks with protein, we need to give your muscles the right signal to actually use them. I call this one resistance snacks. Now, I know what many of you might be thinking the moment you hear the word exercise. You're thinking, doctor, my knees ache, my back isn't what it used to be. The idea of going to a gym and lifting heavy weights, it just isn't realistic for me. And because of that thought, many people make a deeply damaging mistake. The mistake is doing nothing at all. It's this all or nothing thinking that quietly, day by day, steals your strength away. You believe that if you can't do a full hour of intense exercise, then there's no point in doing anything. That belief is completely false. So why do these small movements, these little snacks of effort work so well? Your muscles operate on a very simple, very powerful principle: use it or lose it. It truly is that straightforward. When you challenge a muscle even just slightly, you send a biological signal, a little message that travels from the muscle fiber up to your brain and back again, saying, "Hey, I am still needed here." This signal is what triggers the repair and maintenance processes that keep the muscle from shrinking. It tells your body to take that protein you ate and put it to work. When you don't send that signal for long periods, like sitting for hours at a time, the body, in its incredible efficiency, thinks, well, no one is using this muscle, let's conserve energy here and let it go. And this isn't just a nice idea, it is backed by rigorous research. Scientists at the highly respected McMaster University in Canada have done extensive work on this very topic. They've shown time and again that short, frequent bursts of resistance exercise, even just using your own body weight, can effectively stimulate muscle protein synthesis. That's the scientific term for the muscle building process. And they proved it works powerfully, even in older adults. You do not need a gym membership to send this vital signal. Here's an easy way to picture it. Imagine your muscle is an employee sitting at a desk. If you don't give that employee a task to do all day long, he's going to get drowsy. He might even fall asleep. He becomes unproductive. These little resistance snacks, they are like walking over to that employee every hour or so, tapping him on the shoulder, and giving him a small, quick task to complete. It keeps him awake. It keeps him engaged. It reminds him he has a job to do. So what do these snacks actually look like in your daily life? It's incredibly simple, and you can start the moment this video is over. Here is exercise number 1, the kitchen counter push. While you're waiting for your coffee to brew or for the water to boil for your tea, just place your hands on the kitchen counter, take a comfortable step back, and do 10 slow, controlled push-ups against the counter. That's it. Here is exercise number 2, the sit to stand. This one is a game changer. Every time you get up from your favorite chair, do it without using your hands for support. And before you walk away, sit back down and stand up again, maybe 5 times. Use a sturdy chair and focus on controlling the movement. Let's go back to my patient, John, the engineer I mentioned earlier. When we started, he told me he could only do 5 of those sit-to-stands before his legs felt tired. That was his starting point. But he did it every hour. Last time I spoke with him, he told me he now does 20 at a time without even thinking about it. And here's the beautiful part. He was combining this with the protein priority we just talked about. He was giving his muscles the signal to grow, and then he was giving them the bricks to do the actual building. That combination is the secret formula. It's an amazing way to build strength without ever leaving your living room. It's powerful, isn't it? If you think so, let me know in the comments. Just type wow. Excellent. So you're fueling your body correctly with protein, and you're sending the right signals with resistance snacks. Now, for our third step, it's time to take something you're likely already doing and make it exponentially more powerful. It's time to upgrade your walk. So many of my patients tell me, "Doctor, I get my steps in. I walk every single day." And that's wonderful. But here is the mistake that keeps that walk from truly building strength. The mistake is walking at the same, comfortable, leisurely pace for the entire duration. Now, don't get me wrong. A steady walk is fantastic for your heart, for your mind, for your circulation. But for your muscle strength, it's not doing much at all. Your body is incredibly smart and incredibly efficient. It adapts. After a while, that steady pace no longer presents a challenge, and when there's no challenge, there's no reason for your muscles to grow stronger. So why does changing your pace make such a profound difference? It's because you have different types of muscle fibers in your legs and glutes. Some are designed for endurance, for that slow, steady pace. But others, the fast twitch fibers, are designed for bursts of power and strength. A steady walk never calls on these strength-building fibers to wake up and get to work. By simply changing your speed and intensity even for short periods, you are forcing these powerful fibers to activate. You are challenging your muscles in a new way, which forces them to adapt and become stronger. And the science on this is absolutely fascinating. There was a remarkable study conducted in Denmark that looked at this very thing. They took 2 groups of walkers. One group walked at a steady pace, just like most people do. The other group walked in intervals. They would walk slowly for a few minutes, then walk at a much brisker pace for a minute, and then slow down again. The results after just a few months were astounding. The interval walking group not only improved their leg strength significantly more than the steady pace group, but they also had much better blood sugar control. It proves that how you walk matters just as much as that you walk. Let me give you an analogy to make this crystal clear. Think about driving a car that only has one gear. First gear. You can get around town, sure. But you're not using the engine to its full potential. You're not efficient, and you're certainly not building any speed or power. Changing your walking pace is like learning to shift gears. You're tapping into the full power of your engine, your muscles, making the entire journey more effective. So, how do you do this? How do you upgrade your walk starting tomorrow morning? It is wonderfully simple. You don't need to run or jog. You just need to vary your pace. On your next walk, try this. Walk at your normal, comfortable pace for 3 minutes. Just enjoy it. Then, for the next 1 minute, pick up the pace. Walk briskly as if you're a little late for an appointment. Pump your arms. Feel your heart rate rise just a bit. After that minute is up, go back to your comfortable pace for another 3 minutes. That's one cycle. Try to do 5 of those cycles during your walk. That's all it takes. I had a patient, Mary, a lovely 75-year-old woman, who told me her daily walks had become, well, a bit boring. She started doing this interval method and she said it completely changed everything. Not only was the walk more engaging, but she told me that after a month, she suddenly realized she could carry her groceries up the stairs to her apartment without stopping to catch her breath. And she found that this worked best when she was well hydrated, which, as it turns out, leads us directly into our very important 4th step. Okay, this brings us to our 4th step. And I want you to listen very closely to this one because frankly, this is the element that is most often and most dangerously ignored. I call it strategic hydration. It sounds simple, I know. Just drink water. But the crucial mistake so many of us make as we age is this: we wait until we feel thirsty to drink. That is a mistake. A big one. Here is a biological fact that you need to understand. As we get older, our body's natural thirst mechanism, that little signal that tells your brain you need water, it becomes less sensitive. It doesn't work as well as it did when we were 20. This means that by the time you actually feel thirsty, your body is already in a state of dehydration. You're already behind. You're playing catch up for the rest of the day. So why is this seemingly small issue so critical for your strength, for your energy, and for your safety? Well, your muscles are not solid blocks of tissue. They are living engines that are composed of approximately 75% water. 75%. When you become even mildly dehydrated, the water content inside your muscle cells decreases. This causes them to shrink slightly. This process directly interferes with normal muscle function, leading almost immediately to feelings of fatigue, weakness, and those painful muscle cramps, especially in your legs at night. More importantly, dehydration can cause dizziness and a lack of coordination, which dramatically, and I mean dramatically, increases your risk of a fall. And this is not just my clinical observation. This is a major focus for health institutions. The National Institute on Aging has published extensive research directly linking chronic, low-level dehydration in older adults to a much faster decline in physical function. They found it was a significant predictor of losing one's independence. It's that serious. I want you to think about it with this analogy. Imagine your muscle is a kitchen sponge. A brand new, hydrated sponge is plump, it's flexible, it's strong. You can squeeze it, bend it, and it bounces right back. Now, imagine that same sponge after it's been left out on the counter to dry for a day. It becomes stiff, brittle, weak. It can barely function, and if you try to bend it too much, it might even crack and fall apart. That is exactly what is happening to your muscles on a cellular level when you don't drink enough water. So, how do we fix this? How do we hydrate strategically? You stop relying on thirst. Instead, you build a routine. You make it a non-negotiable habit. The first step is to drink 1 full 8-ounce glass of water the moment you wake up in the morning, before your coffee, before your breakfast. This rehydrates your body after a long night's sleep. The second step is to keep a water bottle or a glass of water with you all day. Place it on the table next to your favorite chair. Take it with you in the car. And don't just let it sit there. Take small, regular sips throughout the day, even when you don't feel thirsty. I have had so many patients, dozens of them, who came to me complaining about terrible leg cramps that would wake them up in the middle of the night. We would try many things, but for a surprising number of them, the cure was simply this strategic hydration plan. The cramps just disappeared. And there is a powerful synergy here. When your muscles are well hydrated, they recover faster from the resistance, snacks, and the walking we've talked about. Everything works better. So, I have a question for you, and I want you to be honest with yourself. Are you drinking enough water? If you know, deep down, that you could be doing better, head to the comments right now and just type one word, guilty. It's the first step to making a change. We've covered 4 powerful, practical steps so far. Fueling with protein, signaling with resistance snacks, upgrading your walk, and hydrating strategically. Now, we come to our 5th and final step. And this one is a little different. It isn't an action you take so much as it is a skill you develop. It is the glue that holds all the other pieces together. This step is to listen to your body's wisdom. The most common mistake I see, and it's a heartbreaking one, is that people ignore the constant, quiet feedback their body is giving them. They fall into one of 2 traps. The first trap is the no pain, no gain mindset. They feel a sharp twinge in their knee and they just push through it, often causing real injury. The second trap is the exact opposite. They feel the slightest bit of muscle soreness, the normal, healthy ache after a new activity, and they quit altogether, thinking they've hurt themselves. Both of these approaches are wrong. Both of them will stop your progress. So why is learning to listen so essential? Because your body is engaged in a constant conversation with you. It is sending you signals all day long. But you have to learn the language. A sharp, stabbing pain is a very different message from a dull, warm ache of a muscle well worked. The feeling of vibrant energy after a good meal is a different signal from the sluggish feeling after eating junk food. Learning to accurately interpret these signals is the key to making safe, sustainable, and effective progress without getting injured or discouraged. It allows you to become your own best health advocate. And this isn't just some philosophical idea. There's a growing field of science called interoception. It's a fascinating area of research. It's the study of how we perceive the internal signals from our own bodies. And studies in this field, published in journals like Behavioral and Brain Sciences, have shown a direct link between having good interoceptive awareness and making better health decisions, having better emotional regulation, and achieving better overall physical outcomes. The better you can listen, the healthier you can be. Here's the analogy I use with my patients. Think of your body as a wise, experienced co-pilot on a long road trip. You are the one driving the car, but your co-pilot has the map and they can feel the engine. If the co-pilot tells you the engine is sounding a little rough, maybe we should ease off for a bit, you would be a fool to ignore it and just floor the accelerator. And if it says, we've got a full tank of gas, the engine is purring, this is a great time to cover some ground. It would be a missed opportunity to pull over and stop. Listening to your body is simply respecting your co-pilot. So how do you practice this? How do you become a better listener? You start by building small moments of awareness into your day. After you finish an upgraded walk, just stand still for 60 seconds. Close your eyes. How do your legs feel? Is there a warmth in the muscles? How is your breathing? The next morning, when you wake up, before you even get out of bed, check in. Do you feel rested and energized? Or do you feel sore and exhausted? Use this information not as judgment, but simply as data. This is exactly what my patient John learned to do. By listening, he realized that walking up steep hills aggravated his right knee, but doing more of the sit-to-stand exercises actually made it feel stronger and more stable. So he adjusted. He found a flatter walking route and he added 5 more sit-to-stands to his daily routine. He listened and he adapted. That wisdom, that partnership with his own body is what allowed him to keep progressing safely. It is what will allow you to succeed as well. So there we have it. 5 foundational steps, each one simple on its own, but incredibly powerful when brought together. We talked about prioritizing your protein to provide the fuel, using resistant snacks to send the right signal, upgrading your walk to build real-world strength, hydrating strategically for energy and safety, and finally, learning to listen to your body's own incredible wisdom. But I know that this can feel like a lot of information, and I never want you to feel overwhelmed. So I am going to give you a simple prescription for this coming week. Just 3 things. First, I want you to add a good source of protein to your breakfast every single day. Second, twice a day, just twice, I want you to do 10 of those sit-to-stand exercises from a sturdy chair. And third, drink 1 large glass of water as soon as you wake up in the morning. That's it. That's the entire plan. Anyone can do that. Now, I can almost hear the thought in your mind. Doctor, I'm just too tired to even start. And I hear you. I truly do. But here is a fundamental truth about the human body: energy does not come from rest. Real, lasting energy comes from action. When you begin to properly fuel and move, your body will not have less energy. You will create so much more. And please remember why we are doing this. This isn't just about being able to open a stubborn jar. This is about having the strength to carry your own groceries, the power to get down on the floor and play with your grandchildren. It's about living with dignity in your own home for as long as possible. Your independence, it is priceless. Don't wait until next week or next month to start protecting it. If you are ready to take that first step today, I invite you to become a part of this community. Go ahead and press that subscribe button so you won't miss any of my future practical advice. And just as importantly, I want you to commit yourself right now. Go down to the comment section and simply type DAY1. It's a declaration. It's your start line. Thank you so much for investing this time in your health today. In my very next video, we'll be talking about the top 3 foods that can help to naturally soothe aching joints. You won't want to miss that one. I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, and please remember age is just a number, but strength is a choice.